Most men never look past the surface. They spend their days chasing approval, reacting to every shift in status and measuring themselves by temporary wins and losses. They stay busy. They stay distracted. They never stop long enough to examine the structure underneath. Have you ever looked around and seen it clearly? Everything is scripted. Everything follows the same patterns, the same cycles, the same incentives, the same roles, the same outcomes dressed up in new language. Most men never notice because they're too busy playing their assigned part. This isn't a market update. This isn't another video about coins or narratives or the next cycle. This is about the architecture that was already shaping you long before you realized it. If you've ever felt your ambitions were handed to you, if your idea of success, your rebellions, even the way you define yourself started to feel pre-written, then what I'm about to say isn't theory, it's diagnosis. We are NamelessParadox. The system isn't broken, it's designed this way. We live inside a system that runs on cycles. New faces, new names, new generations filling the same positions. The boss changes, the language changes, the slogans change, but the structure never moves. From the time you're a boy, you're trained to obey, to perform, to wait, study, work, climb, optimize, prove yourself, wait for recognition, wait for permission, wait for the system to finally validate you. What almost no one says out loud is this: the system does not remember the workers. It only remembers who issues the orders. Identity fades, position stays. You can spend decades refining yourself, branding yourself, proving your worth, and still realize the role you occupied was never truly yours. It was just a temporary slot. When you leave, exhaustion, replacement, or death, the machine doesn't pause. It doesn't mourn. It inserts the next man and keeps running. The system isn't broken, it's functioning with cold precision. Look around carefully and you'll see it. Everything is scripted, everything follows the patterns. The faces change so the pattern can stay invisible. And most men remain slaves to it without ever calling it what it is. As men, we cannot give in to that. We cannot accept a life of temporary occupancy. Hierarchy in modern society. Hierarchy never disappeared. It only became more sophisticated. In older times, it was visible. Kings, lords, priests, soldiers, peasants. Today, the hierarchy is quieter, more distributed, and far more effective. Titles change. Corporate ladders replace bloodlines. Influencer rankings replace old aristocratic orders. Algorithmic visibility replaces public square status. But the underlying principle remains. A small number of positions hold disproportionate power, while the majority compete for the remaining slots. Modern hierarchy does not need to declare itself. It operates through incentives, status, access, and the quiet fear of being left behind. It rewards those who accept their place and perform well within it. It tolerates limited dissent only when that dissent can be absorbed or monetized. Most men are not fighting the hierarchy. They are fighting for a better seat inside it. That is still slavery, only with better branding. The Matrix and the loops. There's a reason the old film still resonates decades later. Not because of the special effects, because it named something most men feel but cannot articulate. The Matrix is not only digital, it is psychological, social, and economic. It is the total environment of approved goals, approved ambitions, approved rebellions, and approved identities. The continuous stream of images, metrics, and stories that tell a man what success looks like, what failure looks like, and what he should desire next. You are not forced into the matrix with chains. You are invited into it with rewards, status, recognition, comfort, the feeling of progress. As long as you keep playing by its rules, it continues to feed you just enough to stay engaged. The most effective prison is the one that does not feel like a prison, it feels like opportunity. Look around. Everything is scripted. Everything follows the patterns. Inside this matrix, history does not merely repeat, it loops. The loop of ambition, climb higher inside the same structure. The loop of rebellion, resist in ways the system can predict and contain. The loop of identity, define yourself by the roles the structure offers. The loop of replacement, when one man exits a position, another is inserted without the machine ever stopping. Every serious rebellion is eventually absorbed. Every revolution is diluted, rebranded, and sold back as progress. The faces change so the structure can stay invisible. The loops are self-sustaining. Remaining inside them is still slavery, even when the cage is gold-plated. We cannot live inside loops designed to keep us manageable. We either break the pattern or we become the pattern. Promotion is not freedom. You work hard, you follow the rules, you wait for the next level. Occasionally, the system allows a man to rise. It calls this success. It calls this freedom. It calls this making it. What it rarely admits is that the higher seat is still inside the same cage, only with better lighting, a more comfortable chair, and a slightly longer leash. Promotion is not freedom. In many cases, it is simply a more sophisticated form of containment. The man who believes he has escaped because he now gives orders instead of taking them has only changed seats. He still answers to rules he did not write. He still operates inside incentives he did not design. And when his usefulness ends, the machine will replace him without ceremony or regret. Your replacement is already prepared. If you move against the matrix too openly or too carelessly, it does not always need to destroy you. It simply cancels your relevance and inserts the next man into the same seat. True freedom is not measured by how high you climb inside the hierarchy. It is measured by how much of your inner position remains unclaimed by the matrix. We shouldn't mistake a longer leash for freedom. Ownership of self is non-negotiable. What the system rewards in the paradox. This world does not primarily reward truth. It does not reward deep clarity. It does not reward the kind of consciousness that questions the game itself. It rewards obedience dressed as ambition. It rewards visibility that stays within acceptable boundaries. It rewards the performance of independence while remaining fully dependent on the structure for status, validation, and survival. Those who see clearly are often quiet. In this system, if your insight is not packaged the way the machine prefers, it is allowed to die in silence. Here is the central paradox most men never fully confront. The more completely you obey, the more thoroughly you disappear into the role. The more you resist without precision and without an unshakable inner foundation, the more easily you are replaced. No one needs to erase you personally. The system simply forgets you. Someone else is quietly placed in your position to play the same game, follow the same rules, and chase the same approved illusions. The machine does not need to kill you. It only needs to outlive you. A hierarchy without permanent faces, a matrix without an obvious single creator. Loops that keep turning long after any individual has left the stage. As men, we cannot accept being forgotten while we still breathe. We build something that outlasts the position. Final truth. Most men will spend their entire lives inside this architecture and never fully name it. They will climb the hierarchy, compete inside the matrix, celebrate small promotions, complain about the rules, and eventually be replaced. Still believing that the next level or the next rebellion would have been different. A smaller number of men will begin to see the pattern clearly. They will stop asking only how to win inside the game and start asking whether the game itself deserves their full allegiance. Many will end as a title with no one left who remembers the man. Truth does not live comfortably inside the script. It lives outside it, in the man who refuses to be fully absorbed, who maintains an inner position the hierarchy cannot easily catalog, the matrix cannot fully claim, and the loops cannot automatically replace. Do not be a slave to the system, not to its hierarchy, not to its matrix, not to its loops. As men, we cannot give in. We cannot hand over our direction, our standards, or our future in exchange for temporary validation. Have you looked around yet? Everything is scripted. Everything follows the patterns. The only question left is whether you keep following them, or whether you step outside. Stay disciplined. Build real money. Protect your health and your frame. Use these as tools to reduce dependence and eventually exit the loop on your own terms. The question is not whether the system will continue. It will. The question is whether you will remain a temporary occupant of a position, or whether you will become something the structure cannot fully own. Stay awake. Stay deliberate. Refuse the slavery that comes dressed as opportunity. We are NamelessParadox. I'll see you in the next one.